All right, guys, so we got weekly insurance numbers. You guys probably read the headlines. 2,900 insurance registrations. Doesn't look very good on paper, but there's a very important message that I want to tell you guys. And it is the fact that, NIOs are still very, very expensive. NIOs are way, way more expensive than what most people can afford. So it's understandable that deliveries aren't doing exactly that high. It's unreasonable to expect that we're going to constantly get 20,000 or above. I know management was very bullish back then, but the actual reality of things is that NIOs are just very expensive. 2,900, that's, of course, if we compare it to about the same time last month we got 3,500 around this time. So, a lot slightly lower, and this is only the beginning of the month. I'm not going to say that this month is going to be fantastic. You got to remember, I went to the stores and the manager said, this month is one of the lower months in terms of deliveries. And, the thing is, a lot of people, they do really want to buy a NIO, but there's just not that much of an incentive to push people to buy the car. And, a lot of the referrals that I have here in China, I talk to them and I ask them if they want to buy a NIO. Yes, they want to buy a NIO. Only a few of them actually pull the trigger, and that's because I tell them, and this is the incentive part, that you could buy a inventory car or a showroom car and get a massive discount on it. And that's the incentive that pushes them to purchase the car. Otherwise, they're just probably going to stay back and chill and just watch as the things go by. NIO really needs to create some sort of urgency in terms of the promos. I mean, all the promos right now, it's nice, all right, it's good to have, but it's not like there's no urgency that it's going to go away and be a big loss if you don't take advantage of it. That's the thing that we need. There's a very important topic of getting free battery swap. That used to be the biggest incentive for people to buy the car. And I know you guys are very glad that newer buyers cannot get the option to get free battery swap. But I think this was really maybe a turn in the wrong direction, all right? Because some people still like the idea of getting free battery swap every month for life. And remember, the package is you can add 30,000 RMB and you get 4 free swaps per month forever. And if you really do the math on this thing, 30,000 RMB for 4 free swaps per month forever, it's still more worth it for NIO in the long run, because every swap is going to cost you around 100 RMB. 30,000 gets you about 300 swaps. I mean, for me, I've been driving for 3 years. I'm only at around 180 swaps, and it's only 4 swaps per month. 4 swaps per month, that equates to about 75 months or 6.25 years for you to basically recuperate the amount of money that you spent in terms of free swaps. So hell yeah, I think it's still a very big win for NIO to continue offering this package. 30,000 RMB, buy it, you get a little bit longer warranty and also 4 free swaps per month forever. NIO still wins because it's going to take 6 years for that package to break even for the NIO owner. When we saw the big jump in deliveries back in July, that was all pretty much people taking advantage of the last wave of free battery swap in July and August, all those deliveries essentially, and also a little bit of August in terms of ES8, all pretty much those people that want to take advantage of the free swap forever. People prioritize this. They want to feel like they're getting a good deal, and this makes them feel like they're getting a good deal, even though it's going to take a long time for them to break even. And it's a win-win situation. More people will want to buy the car. NIO gets more revenue. More people will use battery swap. Most importantly, it's going to help sales, right? So definitely getting rid of the extra 30,000 RMB package is a bad move, I think, looking at it now. Or at least reduce it down to maybe like 2 free swaps per month or something like that. But I understand that free swaps does cause a lot of cash burden for NIO. It makes sense, but I think they're looking at this thing too logically. And from a consumer perspective, a lot of my referrals, some of them don't want to buy the car because it doesn't have free battery swap. It's not as good as the deal before. If you feel like you missed out on a really good deal and now the deal is much worse, are you still gonna buy that product? Maybe not. Maybe you'll wait, because you'll just wait and see how things go. And that's exactly what it's been like for a lot of my referrals, at least. Okay. The other thing is, of course, the JC factory stuff, and recently the laying off of staff. Quite some buzz, all right? Quite some buzz, and that's obviously does impact a lot of people's purchase decisions. The NIO manager did tell me that one of the referrals that I referred, he was on the brink of canceling his order because of all this news. There's a lot of people online saying that NIO will not make it, and especially since Weltmeister went down, some people are saying that NIO is the next Weltmeister. I guarantee you, no, NIO is not the next Weltmeister, because if NIO gets really, really cheap in terms of market value, market cap, somebody's going to scoop them up just for the patents, just for the battery swap infrastructure. The infrastructure is worth billions itself, all right? Just the infrastructure. So you can understand how NIO is significantly undervalued, all right? People are not looking at the infrastructure side of NIO. They're just looking at the sales of the car. They're looking at the number, and just the number, not even considering the price of the car, all right? If they consider the price of the car, then we're talking, all right? Going forward, there are several very good catalysts that I still believe will really help NIO stock. One of them would be definitely NIO Day. See what NIO launches. We know that there's not going to be any new cars, so a refresh that's going to really help things out for a lot of the vehicle models, and also the sub-brand car that's going to be maybe incorporated into NIO's main brand, make it cheaper. That's going to be a game changer. If that's happening, that will be absolutely massive. And then next year, of course, in 2024, we got the imminent approval for NIO China to list. That's something that probably slipped under a lot of people's radar. They're probably going to get a lot of money from that as well. The general consensus right now is that, NIO's vehicles are fantastic, but people don't know that it's fantastic. Battery swap is fantastic, but people don't know that thing isn't an air conditioning unit. That thing isn't a car wash machine. That thing is a battery swap station. The consensus is the amount of knowledge is still very limited. People don't know about NIO. That's, I think, in my opinion, is still very bullish. A lot of really wealthy people do purchase NIO, and I'd say subjectively, in my opinion, NIO is doing fairly well for the price that they're selling at, all right? But it's still going to take time before battery swap becomes very mainstream, and I think it's going to take maybe a few more years before everybody knows about battery swap, because right now, not everybody knows about battery swap, and people are still stuck in the mindset that EREVs or hybrids, they solve range anxiety, whereas in reality, they give you more range anxiety. You got to worry about gas is more expensive than electricity, but then you want to charge, you have a smaller battery, your charging is slower than traditional EVs, so you spend more time at the charger, you spend more time lining up, you're wasting more time, all to save a couple of bucks. Sometimes you might not even touch the gasoline inside your car. It's going to still take a while, guys. And I think NIO needs really more affordable cars. Right now, none of their cars are affordable, all right? Let's be honest. Very expensive, but worth it. There's a difference. Worth it. Expensive, but worth it. Worth every penny of it. But no matter how worth it is, most people might not be able to reach that price level. So what I really want to see is just a car in the mid 200K or low 200K R&B area. That's going to really juice things up for NIO. I think NIO accelerating the sub-brand forward, that's going to help. So don't get too disappointed with 2,900. I mean, back in April, we had 700. I mean, come on. 2,900 doesn't look good, but hey, NIOs are expensive, all right? As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.